Hello mortals, I'm Zeus, and I've got some serious confessions to make. Everything you think you know about me complete lies crafted over 3 millennia. Let me start with the real story of my so-called heroic childhood. My father Kronos didn't just eat my siblings, he enjoyed every bite. My mother saved me by feeding him a stone wrapped in blankets. I grew up plotting revenge, not learning wisdom like your fairy tales claim. When I returned, I didn't challenge him honorably, I poisoned his wine. I made him vomit up my siblings like some twisted family reunion. Out came Hades, Poseidon, Hera and the others, half digested but alive. The Titan War wasn't about justice, it was pure family revenge. We fought for 10 years, turning the earth into a hellscape. I won by freeing monsters from Tartarus, not through noble combat. I didn't kill Kronos cleanly, I condemned him to eternal torture. That story about drawing lots for our kingdoms, I rigged it. I made sure I got the sky because that's where real power lies. I gave Poseidon the oceans to keep him far from my throne. And Hades got the underworld because I needed him to stay underground. Then came my first major scandal. I married my sister Hera. It wasn't love, it was about keeping power in the family. I needed a queen I could control, someone who owed me everything. But marriage was boring, so I started my real hobby, infidelity. I discovered I could shape-shift to seduce mortal women without consequences. I became a bull to kidnap Europa, a teenage princess. As a swan, I assaulted Leda while she was bathing. I turned into golden rain to reach Danae in her locked tower. The list of women I violated goes on and on. Each affair produced children I refused to acknowledge or protect. Hera couldn't punish me, so she tortured my victims instead. She cursed Io, turning her into a cow hunted by giant flies. She tricked Semele into asking to see my true form, burning her alive. I saved baby Dionysus by sewing him into my thigh. My hatred for women grew with each failed relationship. When Métis got pregnant, I faced my greatest fear, a child smarter than me. I couldn't risk being overthrown, so I swallowed her whole while pregnant. Athena burst from my skull, but she knew the truth about her mother. She never forgave me for murdering her mother in cold blood. When Prometheus gave fire to humans, I saw it as personal betrayal. I chained him to a rock where eagles ate his liver daily. The liver regenerated each night, so his torture could continue forever. I created Pandora not as a gift, but as a weapon against humanity. Her box contained every evil I wanted to inflict on mortals. I left hope at the bottom, knowing it would make their suffering worse. When humans still defied me, I decided to drown them all. Only Deucalion and Pyrrha survived because Prometheus warned his son. Even my genocide couldn't stop humans from questioning my authority. I established strict rules on Olympus: obey me or face destruction. My own family feared me more than they respected me. I had spies everywhere to report any sign of rebellion. I trusted no one, not even my most loyal supporters. My temper tantrums could destroy entire cities in minutes. Mortals died for crimes their rulers committed against me. I convinced kings they ruled by my divine right to control them. Every earthly throne was just an extension of my manipulation. I demanded temples and sacrifices to feed my massive ego. Humans worshipped me out of terror, not genuine devotion. I manipulated heroes like Hercules to do my dirty work. I engineered their suffering to maintain my power structure. Every prophecy about my downfall haunted my sleepless nights. I tried to change fate, but only made my doom more certain. My family finally attempted a coup led by Hera herself. They bound me in chains while I slept, proving my weakness. Only Thetis and her 100-handed ally saved my pathetic reign. I punished the conspirators but couldn't heal my shattered pride. Power had isolated me from everyone who might have loved me. My thunderbolts masked the emptiness eating away my soul. Sometimes I wondered if Kronos was right to fear his children. I had become everything I once hated about my father. My own sons would someday plot against me just as I did. Every victory had cost me my humanity and capacity for love. I had justified every cruelty as necessary for maintaining order. The voice in my head that once questioned my actions had gone silent. Every relationship I touched turned toxic or ended in tragedy. Nobody could love someone who saw every gesture as potential betrayal. I had become both victim and perpetrator of the family curse. 3,000 years passed, and mortals forgot my true nature. Poets and scholars sanitized my story for their own purposes. Today's humans worship sanitized versions of ancient tyrants like me. Every dictator throughout history has followed my playbook perfectly. Modern leaders use my techniques to manipulate their populations. They control narratives just like I controlled the ancient myths. Fear remains the most effective tool for maintaining illegitimate power. Absolute authority corrupts even those who start with good intentions. My story reveals humanity's eternal struggle with power and morality. Each generation thinks they're different, but they repeat my mistakes. The Greeks created me as a warning, not a role model. They wanted future generations to recognize tyranny before it was too late. So when you see leaders who remind you of me, remember this story. Look for the signs, the hunger for absolute control over others. Watch how they divide families and turn people against each other. Notice how they use fear to silence criticism and dissent. See how they rewrite history to make themselves look heroic. Observe how they blame their victims for the crimes committed against them. Listen to how they justify every abuse as necessary for the greater good. Watch them isolate their rivals and eliminate potential threats systematically. Notice how they demand worship instead of earning genuine respect. See how gradually they lose all sense of right and wrong. I've been lying to you for 3,000 years, but the truth is simple. Power without accountability will always create monsters like me. Don't worship gods or leaders. Question them before they become what I became. The future depends on you recognizing these patterns and breaking the cycle. Now you know the truth. What will you do with this knowledge? Remember, even gods can fall when people stop believing their lies.